All right, welcome everyone to this private Q&A session, which will of course be made public to everyone at the end of the week. And today is Tuesday, June 2nd. We already have several people here and some of the questions have already come up. So we will begin with with a political question, which is awesome tone. What do you think about the Biden administration plan to regulate crypto? Well, Biden is very different than Trump. Trump is a capitalist and Biden is a socialist. So they look at things very, very differently. So for Biden and the Democrats, the only thing that matters to them is other people's money. That's it. Trump being a capitalist, he's okay with other people making money. So the number one thing for the Biden administration is going to be taxes, which is why they're looking to raise capital gains to 40%. And taxes is going to be very, very key for the socialist administration because they always feel that other people's money is their money. That's how these people's brain functions. How are they going to regulate it? Well, they're going to be a hell of a lot more ruthless. Because socialists are generally a lot more, well, capitalists are ruthless as well in terms of business. But to me, socialists are a lot more tyrannical. So they will have very strict penalties for everything. So to them, it's a matter of not losing the grip on the US dollar. So I have no idea what they're going to do, but it's not going to be good. So I'm making plans to get the F out. So you guys might want to consider that. Maybe we can talk about that on a different private Q&A about the best way to do that. Okay, now we're going to get to a chart question. I'm going to go to screen share. And again, if you want to ask the question, raise your hand and we can do it with audio. Screen share.
So yeah, I was just, of course, I have the MRI on here, and I watch all your videos, so I follow that closely. But curious to your thoughts. I put that box there for the sell or short because I looked at past cycle highs, and I see that once we've sort of started that downward momentum and the trend has started to change, that's pretty much been the area, maybe wicking through the 618 even a little bit, and then back down again. I mean, I'll recall following you from the last early 2018 where we had that long several month descending triangle, and you just talking for months and weeks about shorting that when it got into the end, and that was a dream trade. That drop from the cycle high hit, just wicked through the 618, and it just started the descent.
Right. So you're looking at the 45K to the 48K zone. And on my daily chart, I circle the same zone. This is 47 to 49. It's a very similar zone. I'm using the daily chart. You're using the weekly chart, but this daily resistance was made based on the potential of us going straight into it from this low. We have already delayed this move by a while. And as this continues to delay further, this zone is actually set a little too high because we're going to, if this thing drags on for into the middle of June, then there's going to be a depth cross right here between the 50. That's between the 50 and the 200. This is the 128, which is still kind of horizontal. So it's possible that this thing, I'm going to redraw it over here, right in this area where the depth cross might happen. And based on how fast the 50 period's going down, this could happen even earlier. So that would put us at 42. Right. The weekly chart has us right in the middle, which is right here. And yeah, this is looking very, very scary. I mean, I'm reading Willie Woo's newsletter, and it's impossible not to pay attention to Plan B's stock to flow model. And they're still so incredibly bullish And I am bullish based on the political environment. I am bullish based on the cycle environment. But at the end of the day, I'm a technical analyst.
Mm-hmm.
And once we get into that 47 to 48 zone, it's I cannot be bullish in that zone. I can only be bullish above that zone. I can be bullish going into that zone, above that zone, but not in that zone. In that zone, you're sitting there biting your nails, because if that shit turns from that zone, maybe we are in a bear market, and that's how you know you're in a bear market. This happened to me as well back here. Tyler Jenks recognized the beginning of the bear market because of hyperwave right here in December, but not me. I didn't pick up the bear market until this secondary peak. This rejection here and the start of us going down, this is when I said, okay, that was the peak. This was the initial drop. This was the attempt to get to new highs. And this is where I became a bear. As always, I always become a bull. I'd rather be a week or two late than early, because if you're early, you may never trade again. If you're a week or two late, you will always be able to trade again. So I became a bear here. And now it's the opposite. It's the opposite this time. Right now, I'm trying to be optimistic into this area. But this right here, well, actually, it's not the opposite. It's almost the same, where to me, this is still a bull market, but a rejection here will make me strongly reconsider that. You also asked about the Fibonacci.
Well, that's the 618. The candle where you said you became a bear on was the rejection of the 618. And that's sort of what I'm expecting here, is the rejection of that zone and dropping from there and eventually reaching that green area of the logarithmic, band down there. That's the buy zone, that green band. Anytime you buy in that green band, you're in a good place if you look back over time.
Oh yeah, no, of course. But man, if we go into 50K and then drop down to the mid 20s, it's going to be scary because we're supposed to be in a bull market. So we never made it to this area. This is where I would have been this is where I wanted to call the top, in this red right in this red band. Yep. And I thought we can make it there right here on this run-up here.
Right. But I'm looking at these things, and I do believe we're coming back to that green band, and our $100 and some thousand Bitcoin isn't till probably mid to late 2022, maybe even early 2023.
It's very possible. Very, very possible. How to avoid getting stopped out? That's a tough question. Experience. Just experience. There's not much you can do. Even I get stopped out. Like even after a decade of trading, I've been stopped out at the worst possible pick and then watch the price go against me. All I can say is experience. There's really nothing else to it. If you feel like you're getting stopped out too often or not early enough, just try to adjust it and be consistent with that going forward. It comes with experience. There's really not much you can do if you're getting stopped out too often. Can you look at the 4-hour symmetrical triangle? Yes, I can. All right, let's zoom out and try to draw a triangle. All right, we can go here, we can go here, and we can go there. All right, we're right at the top of that triangle. It's the best I can draw it right here. We're right at the top. So either we get rejected right here, or we break out. Looks like it's a rejection. Beautiful triangle. Wish I did it on a live stream. Beautiful triangle. And this is generally a bearish look, because if we come back down, hit it one more time and break down. So according to the triangle, we should be getting rejected right here, right now. What percentage chance do you currently give a $20,000 Bitcoin and a new all-time high Bitcoin this year? My view on a $20,000 Bitcoin, let's not do 20,000, let's do something like 22,000. My probability of a $22,000 Bitcoin this year is something like 25%. I think there's a good 25 to 30% chance Bitcoin price comes down to the low 20s. $100,000 Bitcoin this year is actually a greater percentage. I still think we're going to rally hard this year. So for me, I give it like a 55 to a 60% chance that Bitcoin will hit 100K this year or very close to it, right? So for example, if Bitcoin is at 80K at the end of this year, but it touches 100K in January of next year, I'm going to consider that 100K this year, right? Because it's like entering with momentum into early next year and it just keeps going. Both things happening, that, I mean, you gotta just multiply the percentages, right? And that gives you about a 15% chance that both of them are going to happen this year.
Hey there, Tone. Today I wanted to ask a question about trading mindset. Do you have a special mantra when you enter trading, or a special mindset that you go into so that you don't get completely stressed out, especially when you know price goes against you? I know stop loss set everything, but do you, what kind of state of mind is a trader in, like yourself, one that has a lot of experience?
The only reason a trader would ever be stressed on any trade is if they are over leveraged or they're risking more than what they can afford to lose on that particular trade. So it all comes back down to risk management, like the risk management video that I have on the website. Back in the day, I used to be stressed all the time because I would always have bad risk management. I wouldn't listen to my own rules. And I would, you know, take on trades that would stress me out. So the only way to avoid stress in trading is to put on less risk on any given trade. And that's about it. And that's also how you learn if trading is for you or not. It's really the only way. Because I remember, like, you know, there's all these resources, like the people's videos. I mean, it's all like, everything gets pirated, right? Like I anticipate my stuff to be pirated too. And I remember listening to this trader. I guess he was a known trader with a huge crowd. And I listened to he decided to do like this audio series, like 5 30-minute videos or something about his mental routine. And it was like, I found it so not useful, but it was like, yeah, you know, I wake up in the morning and then I stretch, and he talked about that, and then I meditate, and then I work out, and like this whole thing about like all this mental stuff. And I was just sitting there going, all right, like at which point you're gonna add, you know, like, and then I jerk off, and then I do this and that. And I'm like, he talked about like his entire like trading day. And the only thing I remember, like after listening for 5 hours as to how he mentally prepares for a trade, I was like, dude, with all that, when do you find time to trade? Like it felt like that's his entire day, like mentally easing his mind. And my view is this: if trading is stressing you out, you're risking too much on any given trade. Take a break. Give your stress a break. Spend a couple of weeks doing very low risky trades. And by low risky trades, I don't mean like taking out position. I mean just like risking less money. Like go to, like, for example, if you're a gambler, right? And you like to play blackjack. And you're playing, and you always play blackjack at a table with $100 minimum per hand. And you're stressed out every single hand. Why don't you spend a week playing the $1 table? And see if that stresses you out. Like just play the $1 table. You can play as long as you like on a $1 table versus the 100. If you're the kind of player that plays a $100 table, Go play a $1 table and see how mentally easier the game is for you. So that's what I recommend. Just spend a week trading at 10 times lower risk per trade than you currently do, just to get mentally comfortable with your trading and your strategy, because you will not be stressed out based on the amount of money you might lose. I hope that helps.
And thanks. And the episode was, I cracked up here. I had to mute the mic. It was wonderful. When does he get time to actually trade?
Right. Like when you hear these, like really rich and powerful people, and they talk about like their day, like, come on, that's half bullshit, right? Like the first thing I do when I wake up is I read through like a dozen messages. Like I know a couple of my friends, I know Willie Woo meditates, and maybe I should meditate. Like everyone needs something to de-stress. And for me, that something is going to the sauna. So once a week, I try to find a really hot sauna, like Russian or steam room or whatever. They have it in hotel rooms, they have it in gyms. I'm so pissed that COVID like locked them up. It's like, oh, sauna is not a safe place to be because of COVID. Really? A place with 100 Celsius temperature is not a safe place to be with a virus that dies in significantly lower temperature than that. It's probably the safest place to be in the world. So for me, that relaxes me. So I go there, my phone's in the locker, I'm disconnected, and airplanes, surprisingly. So my 15-hour flight, I never buy Wi-Fi in an airplane. And my brain gets to mentally relax because I know I cannot access the internet. So those are actually my de-stressors, knowing that I have no access to the internet for X amount of time, and the sauna. So you have to find your own to just de-stress. But like starting my day with stretching and then the gym and then meditation and then God knows what else. And it's like, dude, when do you do anything productive? I don't believe that, right? Like life is stressful. Life isn't simple. People have kids. People have other responsibilities. I don't get it. How do you time your trades down from higher level time frames? Example, the 4-hour to the lower level time frame. Do you go as low as 15 minute? I try not to go that low. It also depends on the market. So in the stock market, I would go down to the 10-minute chart because the stock market only trades 7 hours a day. The Bitcoin market trades 24 hours a day. So I don't really want to go down to the 10-minute chart because there's 4 times more time to trade. So in the Bitcoin chart, I don't like going below the 1-hour time frame unless you are a low-level trader. Like unless you're like I know Joe Saz used to trade the 15-minute time frame. So it depends on your trading style. But I'm a day trader. I'm a swing trader, and I use the daily chart. If I know I'm going to enter the trade, so here, let's let me show you. So we're going to go back to Canaan because we were talking about Canaan. So here's Canaan, right? So you always want to start at the highest level time frame. So last week, the weekly time frame had a warning MRI candle. And inside this warning MRI candle was a daily MRI buy. So the daily MRI buy tells you, hey, you want to buy with the daily MRI buy because look, it's happening here. Because the prior daily MRI buy was happening here the week of May 10. So if I go to the daily chart, there was an MRI buy on May 11th. But that's way too early. May 11th is the second day of this 6 candle. That's way too early. Like, man, look at the weekly momentum. It's horrible. The second day was like, I don't know, somewhere over here in the middle of that candle, second day. But the next MRI is happening right at the bottom, right at the low. And it's an MRI warning candle. You're so close to an MRI buy. So now you're going into, so this is the May 24th candle that begins on May 24th. Let's go to the daily chart. And this is May 24th. So on May 24th, you know this is an MRI buy on an MRI warning candle, but you want to really time it. You're like, hey, the stock trades for 7 hours. So I want to time it perfectly. I haven't talked about the 10 a.m. correction in a while. We're about to zoom in on this May 24th candle and see if there was an opportunity to buy it on the 10 a.m. reversal. Let's take a look where an opportunity might have been, because you know you're going to buy this stock on this day or the following day. But now you're trying to super time it in a lower level time frame. So this is where the 10-minute chart comes in, and we're going to go to May 24th. I have absolutely no clue what it's going to look like. So let's go to May 24th. Here it is. Now, because of the gap, I don't take the MRI seriously in the early part, because I want to make sure, and we're going to pull up the details of the MRI. Right, display trend numbers. Why are they not displaying? Oh, because I'm too far away. Okay, I got it. Oh, and I have extra time frames here. What is that time frame? I have the 4-hour and the 12-hour. Okay, so those are my custom time frames. So look, I know there is a daily MRI buy starting with this candle. I'm going to go to replay mode. I probably should have done replay mode to begin with, because now I feel like I'm almost cheating. Let's go to replay mode, bar replay, and we're going to start right there, just so I can get my trend numbers. And now we're going to go, whoa, hit the play button instead of the manual button. So here, this is the first 10-minute candle of the day. And look, it kicks off a brand new MRI trend. That is perfect. That's exactly what I want. The first candle of trading, it just happens to be by luck, because the last candle on Friday was an MRI buy, but I'm not going to buy it on Friday. I don't like to buy stocks at the end of the day on Friday. It's a 10-minute MRI buy, but who cares? I know there's going to be a gap. Even though I know the next day is going to be an MRI buy, I'm going to let it prove it to me. So the trading begins, MRI trend starts. I know I'm on a daily MRI buy. So let's go. Here is the 10 a.m. candle, right? This is the 10 a.m. candle, but it's not a reversal candle. So I'm willing to buy the 10 a.m. reversal if we trade above this candle, which I kind of hope we don't, but we could. If it trades above this candle on the next candle, I may consider buying it on the 10 a.m. reversal. Let's see what the next candle looks like. It's going down. So because it's going down, I now have two options. I can either potentially buy the 11 a.m. reversal, or I can wait for an MRI buy on a 10-minute scale, because I like 10-minute scales. 6, 7, boom, MRI warning. And now the next candle is an MRI buy. So I'm going to wait for strength. We break above this line. That's a good MRI buy for me. Boom, MRI buy, but it's a bearish candle. But I like the MRI buy. I'll either buy above that candle, because at some point today I want to buy this thing. But I want to buy it with strength. I can maybe move it into the middle of the candle. I'm really confident. Nope, didn't happen. How about next candle? Still didn't happen. I'll keep waiting. Now it's past 11 a.m. That's a reversal candle, but I'm probably too chicken to pull the trigger right above that candle with a bearish MRI. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for maybe a green star candle on a 10-minute chart. Let's see where that happens. Here's extension C ending, but I don't care about this extension C because it's coming from like back there somewhere, a different day. That's a huge bullish move. And now I am confident if it goes higher than that, if I did not get in already on this trade because it's gone above the MRI high. I may also be a little chicken because it's gone up so much, I want to pull back. But that's a green star candle, which is a green star candle. I probably don't have that functionality turned on. I do have the functionality turned on. So why didn't it show me a green star? I'm not sure. Let's see what the next candle is. So I'm not sure why that green star didn't come up. There, that you saw that green star right there? So I finally get a green star candle. I have to double check why this green star didn't happen. This should have been a green star candle according to my own rules. That's finally a green star candle. This is a rough one. I like the consolidation. So if I did not get in on this bullish trade, I'm now interested in getting in on the breakout. I might already be in on this green star, but I like this breakout. But at some point on this day, I want to enter the trade. I also hate entering trades after 2 p.m. So I may wait till the next day at this point. But somewhere here, another green star candle. Now, this is where I would get in unless I feel that it's too late in the day, and then I have to wait till the following day. But this is how I use lower level time frames to enter a trade that I'm going to enter anyway, but I want to time it better. And this is where the day ends. And then, oh, this is already the next day. This is already May 25th. So, and my stop loss becomes the swing low based on daily charts. Was Willy Woo bullish the first 2 to 4 months of 2018 when you and Tyler Jenks were bearish? That's a good question. I'm not sure I was speaking to Willy Woo much back then. I don't think I knew him very well. In the first 2 to 4 months of 2018, I'm not sure I had much interaction with Willy Woo. So I honestly do not remember what his view was of Bitcoin. I cannot answer that question. I remember all interactions with Willy Woo as of the beginning of 2019. But I don't recall, because we did a whole video over here in April of 2019 with Willy Woo and the Adaptive Capital guys. But I don't remember much. You got to find the first video I ever did with Willy Woo and see what he said then. And I don't remember when that video was. Sorry. Thank you so much for hanging out in this short private Q&A. I am off to Miami for the conferences tomorrow, but I'll try to do one of these from Miami if I can, and probably another stream from the airport tomorrow morning. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining this Q&A session for Tuesday, June 2nd, and see you all on the next one.